The Bloodline has been dominating every single division on the Friday Night SmackDown roster as Solo Sikoa is beating the hell out of everybody in the singles division and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa starting a dominance in a tag team division. But as we road to Money in the Bank in Toronto, Canada, there's a briefcase that many people on the both Raw and SmackDown roster are looking to win it that can guarantee a world championship. And in a qualifying match, Solo Sikoa is facing Kevin Owens to see who will advance to Money in the Bank ladder match. They're beating the hell out of each other. This may be the rivalry match that they could finally settle their problems as well. The main event of Friday Night SmackDown, and Kevin Owens manages to hit the stunner on the announce table, sends Solo back in the ring, and referees checking if he could continue or not. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa blindside Kevin Owens from behind, and in the ringside are beating the hell out of him. But Randy Orton is here to deliver an RKO to Tama Tonga. But it's a numbers game again. Tonga Loa ambushes Randy Orton in the ringside and is picking him up. But RKO out of nowhere. Randy Orton hits an RKO to Tonga Loa as well, but his own back hurts too. The unforgiving hard floor of the ringside hurts Randy's own back as well. Meanwhile, in the ring, Solo's recovered and he's threatening Paul Heyman to do what Solo wants. And Paul Heyman has no choice to do that, and he's distracting the referee. Kevin Owens is back in the ring and hits the pop-up powerbomb to Solo Sikoa. Solo's done. Kevin hooks the leg, but the referee is distracted to Paul Heyman. Kevin Owens lets Solo Sikoa be on the ground and goes to Charles Robinson and is arguing with him. It was more than a 3 count, and they're just still arguing, and Solo Sikoa hits a spike from behind and pins Kevin Owens to advance to Money in the Bank ladder match. With all ups and downs and all chaos in the ringside, including Paul Heyman distracting the referee, Solo's going to Money in the Bank. But on next week on Friday Night SmackDown, we hear from Randy Orton. The Bloodline is not only a faction, not only a team, not only a family. Bloodline is the most hated group of people I've ever hated in my life because they injured me again. I'm taken out by the Bloodline one more time. And the only reason that I'm not going to break their locker room's door is because of myself. I'm out for at least 3 months, but when I come back, I'm coming back for revenge. With that being said, Solo Sikoa sends a message on the same night on Friday Night SmackDown. Cody Rhodes, keep an eye on us, because I'm in the Money in the Bank match, Randy Orton is injured, and Kevin Owens, he wasn't even a threat from the first place. And everything is going the way we want. Watch your back. Solo Sikoa sends this message, and now we are on Money in the Bank. That's 6 talented superstars, including Braun Breaker, Andrade, Bobby Lashley, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, and main event Jey Uso are competing in a 6-man ladder match for the Money in the Bank contract. And the 6th man himself who's competing in this matchup is Solo Sikoa, who defeated Kevin Owens in an episode of Friday Night SmackDown to reach here. It's pure chaos in the ring, in the ringside, from the ladder, using the ladder, through the ladder. It's just pure chaos until everyone gets taken out except for 2 men, and those 2 men are Solo Sikoa and his brother, Jey Uso. They are trading blows on the top of the ladder. Jey Uso manages to dodge a chop and takes Solo down off the ladder. He grabs the briefcase and is about to become Mr. Money in the Bank, but suddenly the ladder is gone. It's Tonga Loa. He's coming after Jey Uso. So is Tama Tonga. And with Jey Uso and other 4 competitors down, they're protecting Solo Sikoa to grab the briefcase and become Mr. Money in the Bank. Solo Sikoa won the 2024 Money in the Bank ladder match in Toronto, Canada, and everything is going the way he wants. And on Friday Night SmackDown, Solo Sikoa is sending another message to Cody Rhodes. Cody, I'm not playing games, and I know you like fair play, so guess what? I'm cashing this contract on you for SummerSlam main event. See you next week. We'll talk more when we're signing the contract. Solo Sikoa is not waiting for a good time and a good place to cash in. He's announcing his cash in, and the main event of SummerSlam will be for the Undisputed Championship between Solo and Cody as they're signing the contract on SmackDown. Cody, you're now probably thinking that you're facing the Solo Sikoa you beat a year and a half ago, but I am not the same Solo. The Bloodline is not the same Bloodline, and if in the case you can beat this Solo, you can't beat our strategy. Well, Solo, I'm not curious about your strategy. Of course, I don't give a damn to it. The reason most of the people come after me is the title that I am holding. The one who should carefully watch his back is you. You're making infinite enemies. Cody, we don't care how you think about us. The only thing I wanted to say in this whole contract signing is that you are not going to like our strategy. What is the strategy that Solo Sikoa is talking about? He's been addressing it for weeks to Cody Rhodes, sending messages, and he said it again in this contract signing. But as we take a trip over to Monday Night Raw, main event Jey Uso is being interviewed. And in the middle of an interview, he says, Solo and his new cousins, I have some business to handle here on Monday Night Raw. I still remember that you cost me the Money in the Bank ladder match, and at the right time and the right place, we will finish our unfinished business. Yeet. This is what Cody Rhodes is talking about, making more enemies for themselves. This is not the thing that matters now because Cody Rhodes is facing one half of the Tonga brothers, Tonga Loa. And of course, Tama Tonga is in the ringside as well. But Cody Rhodes finally manages to get the upper hand and takes out both Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And he hits the combination of the Cody Cutter and the Crossroads to barely get the win against Tonga Loa the SmackDown before SummerSlam. But suddenly in the middle of a celebration, Solo Sikoa pops up and goes for the spike. Cody wants the Crossroads, but Solo Sikoa rolls out and says, Cody, work smart, not hard. Just like fans, Cody Rhodes is confused as well. Solo Sikoa has never done this kind of strategy before, but we will finally find the answer of our questions in the main event of SummerSlam, where Cody Rhodes, the undisputed champion, made his entrance and is waiting for Solo Sikoa to enter. The American Nightmare is there to the stage, but there's no sign of Solo Sikoa, no theme songs, no bloodline to be found, and Cody's just looking. Here they are, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Solo Sikoa from behind, blindsiding Cody Rhodes, tanking him down, a 3-on-1 situation, beating the hell out of him before the bell could even ring. I told you, you're not going to like our strategy, because you're not facing me. Here it is. The strategy that Solo was talking about all the time wasn't about himself. It's the final boss. The Rock is back and he will be facing Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. Of course it's illegal. It's Solo's Money in the Bank opportunity. But The Rock is the final boss and he can do whatever he wants. Cody Rhodes faced Tama Tonga the night before and he got ambushed by the Bloodline before the match, and now facing The Rock, he's exhausted but he manages to hit the Crossroads on The Rock. It's it. He hooks the leg, but it's The Rock. He's kicking out. And The Rock also manages to hit the rock bottom on Cody Rhodes, but Cody is still alive. And Cody accidentally takes out the referee. And then he goes for the Crossroads. He nails it, but there's no referee, so Solo Sikoa is here as well, dragging Cody Rhodes into the ringside and hitting the spinning Solo on the hard floor. Goes for the spike. Kevin Owens is here. Cody Rhodes got back up and he enters from behind, super kicks Solo in the neck and smashes him with stomps in the ring. But Solo gets back on his feet and nails a Samoan spike to Kevin Owens as well. But Kevin Owens just grabs Solo's leg and takes him down, sends him in position for a punt kick by Randy Orton. He is back as well. Yes, he is injured, but that doesn't stop him to don't kick Solo's head like a soccer ball. But the numbers game again. The Tonga brothers are here as well, knocking out Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. But someone is taking down Tama Tonga and punching him in the face. It's Jimmy Uso. He is back as well, attacking the one who he was replaced with back in the time by Solo Sikoa. But his brother is in the Bloodline as well. He's coming to save his brother, smashing Jimmy Uso. Main event Jey Uso is here as well. He said that he will finish his unfinished business with the Bloodline at the right time and the right place. He spears Tonga Loa, sends him back in the ring, and he nails the Uso splash. But Tama Tonga enters from behind and wants to take down Jey Uso, but Jimmy Uso is back on his feet as well, super kicks him from behind. Jey returns. The brothers are face to face one more time, but before anything could happen, The Rock comes back into the ring and sends Jimmy Uso out and nails Jey Uso a rock bottom. But Cody Rhodes is back as well, from behind, nails a Crossroads. He's not done yet, going for the second one. But here comes Jacob Fatu. Here's another member of the Bloodline signing with the WWE. The Rock's return wasn't the only surprise of the night. He nails a deadly moonsault, and The Rock hits the People's Elbow to pin Cody Rhodes and win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. A controversial match. One of the most controversial matches in the history of SummerSlam took place tonight, while The Rock won the title. And as we move to Friday Night SmackDown, the returning Jimmy Uso is waiting for Kevin Owens to arrive. KO, man, I'm really sorry for everything I've done to you. Man, we all need each other right now. And Kevin Owens, without paying any attention, walks away. And on the same night, The Rock enters, and he has some important words about Cody Rhodes and the Undisputed Championship. Here comes the champ. I told Cody I would come back for him when I returned, and I said it doesn't matter if we steal the champion or not, and thankfully he had the title. So not just another win against Cody Rhodes, but I also took his title. Cody, can you remember the last time we met before SummerSlam? I handed you something you could understand what it is when you first touch it. People don't know what that was, so now let me tell everyone the whole story. After WrestleMania, you came to me and Roman and started to act professional. You said let's bury the hatchet and you gifted us a watch. But the day after on Raw, I returned it, making it crystal clear that I'm not done with you. The hour hand of the watch was frozen on 8 and the minute hand on 3. I gave you the clue, Cody. No, not a clue. I gave you the exact date of my return, August 3rd. But you were that stupid that you couldn't understand. Solo also warned you many times that hey Cody, work smart, not hard. But you were an idiot. And at the end of the day, The Rock is your new undisputed champion. And the final boss can go wherever he wants with his title. And this time I'm not telling anybody my return's date. On the other heated Raw rivalry on Friday Night SmackDown, LA Knight, who's the new United States Champion and won the title at SummerSlam, is still dealing with Logan Paul, as Logan is looking for another rematch for the United States Championship, and they agreed to have their rematch at Bash in Berlin. And as we reach Germany, there's a United States Championship match where LA Knight successfully defends his United States Championship against Logan Paul, but it looks that there is another guy who has his sights on LA Knight's US title, and that guy is Solo Sikoa. They're going to have a match at their next pay-per-view, which is going to be Extreme Rules and an Extreme Rules match. But before that, there's some other chaos as well. Kevin Owens, in the middle of an interview, gets interrupted by a man, by Jimmy Uso, again. Kevin, hey look who's, I know what I've done. Terrible things to you, Jay, Sammy, but we have to do this together if we want to take them down. To take down who? A bunch of guys that you used to be a part of them. From the first day that you've started the Bloodline, I've been fighting the Bloodline, including you. In this path, there were a few people helping me, and hey, listen, after 4 years, I don't need any other help, especially yours. Now get the hell out of my way. And also on Monday Night Raw, there's something interesting happening on the Red Brand as well. Jacob Fatu, who was sent by The Rock to the Red Brand for dominance, he's beating the hell out of everybody on the Monday Night Raw roster, including former champions, current champions, Hall of Famers, until he becomes the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. And the IC champ is obviously Sami Zayn, and they're going to sign their contract next week on Monday Night Raw. But before Jacob Fatu enters the ring, he got stopped backstage by Jey Uso. Hey Us, there's no problem with you, and by default, you're my family. But if you're with them, which I guess you are, please say hello to them for me next time you meet them. Yeet. Jey Uso said this to the wrong person, and Jacob Fatu got infuriated to super kick Jey Uso on the backstage, taking him out. That was an offense to his family, and he enters the ring for the contract signing. So does Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental Champion. And the contract signing is shockingly peaceful, and Jacob Fatu is doing nothing unprofessional. Hey, I saw what you did to Jay, and I know everything I need to know about the Bloodline, but next week I just want to defend my title in another match. I don't want to be in this again. Jacob Fatu is not responding just like he did it in the backstage, and is not super kicking Sami Zayn as well. But next week it's the Intercontinental Championship match. After they sign their contract, they're finally going to have their match. In the main event, Jacob Fatu manages to hit the pop-up Samoan drop to Sami Zayn, and he's going off to the top rope for the moonsault, but he sees somebody on the ringside. It's main event Jey Uso. He didn't forget what Jacob did to him the previous week in the backstage, and he's just distracting him and not letting him do what he wants to do, because he knows if he does something wrong, it's going to be a disqualification. Sami Zayn manages to take him down with the powerbomb, but he's still back on his feet, and Sami Zayn just rolls him up and bridges in a beautiful takedown. Shoulders are down. 1, 2, and 3. Sami Zayn retains the Intercontinental Championship thanks to main event Jey Uso. But the other member of the Bloodline who's looking for the other available title on Friday Night SmackDown is Solo Sikoa, who's facing LA Knight in an Extreme Rules match in the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Many extreme moments are taking place in this matchup, and Solo Sikoa wants to hit the spike but gets BFT'd by LA Knight, and Knight goes for the cover. 1, 2, but Tanga Loa is here as well. It's a no disqualification match and anything can happen. LA Knight sends Tanga Loa out, but Tama Tonga is in the Bloodline as well. It looks LA Knight forgot Tama Tonga, but he manages to counter his attack and sets the powerbomb position up, but not for a simple powerbomb, through the table into the ringside. And he also counters Tanga Loa's attack into a BFT. But Solo Sikoa hits the spinning solo and goes for the rapid spikes. Randy Orton is back! RKO to the enforcer of the Bloodline. Randy leaves the ring as well. He is medically clear, and LA Knight is putting his hands on Solo Sikoa, and it's a 3 count. He retains his United States Championship thanks to Randy Orton evening the odds. But on Friday Night SmackDown, Jimmy Uso sees Randy Orton's return, and he's going to him as well. Hey Us, first of all, please don't RKO me. I apologize for every single absent moment that I was a part of them. I'm now changed, a different person, just like Jay. I need you, more than you need me. I won't RKO you, and you're right, you need us more than we need you. Well, in fact, we don't need you. Even you were on the opposite side most of the time, so now you should be thankful that I'm not RKOing you right now. After being ignored many times by Kevin and Randy, Jimmy Uso has no choice but to come to Monday Night Raw and to Jey Uso. Jay, hey man, I actually don't know how to look into your eyes. Listen, I'm sorry for everything. Please forgive me. My life is becoming a living hell. Everyone is ignoring me. Oh yeah, finally, the big brother is stepping through the way I told him to step a long time ago. Uzi can't understand how bad it feels to see you like this. If you were my brother, I would definitely say you deserve it. But I can't. I hope you remember when even our match at WrestleMania was official, I told you, hey Jim, let's cancel the whole thing and bring the Usos back. But back in the time, you were the one who ignored me, and now you finally found the right way. Randy or KO are right, but at the end of the day, you're my brother, Us. Not a brother, you're my twin. You're myself in another body. I still love you, man. Okay, I'll accept your apology, and I'll come to SmackDown to talk to Randy and Kevin. Time will fix everything. You just have to prove yourself, just like I did. Love you, Us. Sorry for everything. So, what should I do now? Nothing. Just try to prove yourself at the right time, at the right place. Time will fix everything. On Friday Night SmackDown, it's another episode of Special RKO Show, and the special guest of this talk show is going to be main event Jey Uso. All over came to SmackDown for Monday Night Raw, and Jey Uso is doing anything he can to convince Randy and KO accept Jimmy Uso and forgive him. But Jey Uso is not the only person on Friday Night SmackDown. So is Jacob Fatu coming after Jey Uso, who cost him the Intercontinental Championship, and the brawl is taken to Randy Orton and Kevin Owens as well by the Tonga brothers. Jey Uso and Jacob Fatu in the ringside are beating the hell out of each other. Well, of course, Jacob Fatu is beating the hell out of Jey Uso, and in the ring is also a pure chaos between Randy and Kevin and the Tongans. Until the security guards and WWE officials are trying to separate these two men, Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso are at each other's throats. And Randy and Kevin managed to get the upper hand against the brothers in the ring. But the numbers game again. Solo Sikoa is here as well. He spikes Kevin Owens, hits the spinning Solo and Randy Orton, and also leaves the ring to go in front of the stage to spike main event Jey Uso as well. Solo Sikoa is standing tall. But on Monday Night Raw, Jey Uso and Sami Zayn are finally having a conversation. Oh, finally, Jay. Neither of us had the time for a talk. I wanted to talk about my match against Jacob Fatu a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't know should I thank you or not. Man, you know I want to do things in the right way, and I'd rather to lose my title instead of defending it like that. I don't know where you were able to watch the contract signing between me and Jacob the week before, and I said I don't want to be in this anymore. I've had enough of the complicated emotion I had in the Bloodline. Hey Sammy, listen, I feel you, Hoos. I know everything about how to do things the right way, but there's nothing in the right way about the bloodline. You were in the family and you should know it. And I've heard something about a war games match. You see, this has become a war. In this way, you can stay back and let Jacob punish you, cause I know he won't stay back, or he can fight alongside us. At least, be on our side and do what you can to help us take him down. What do you say? Jay, what kind of a question is that? You already know the answer. Of course I'd fight alongside my brother. But next time, please tell me what you're planning to do. Yeet, Oos. And there's also a War Games match made official, so Randy, Jay, and Kevin are having another talk backstage looking for a fourth member for their team. Guys, I feel you, but we need Jimmy now. It's War Games and they are just some wild animals. They will beat the hell out of us and we are outnumbered just for War Games and then you can whatever you want with them. Jay, we talked about this last week on the RKO show. You cannot just walk around and act like you haven't done anything. I still remember you super kicking me 20 times per night. Now when I'm okay with you, that doesn't mean you can decide for us. Kevin's right. I just don't throw out my aggression on you. But maybe I have more problem with you and in your twin. And you took me out for 18 months, but at least for now, you're right at some point. In fact, we shouldn't bring the old days because we have something more important to take care of. But about Jimmy, I still have the same vision. I got injured twice by the Bloodline and I'd rather to be in that situation again instead of fighting along with the one who did it to me once. Jay, you've done many things that made me not to RKO you now, but Jimmy? Nothing. Just begging for forgiveness. The problem is exactly that damn vision. Jimmy can help you get the hell out of this damn situation, but you just keep ignoring him. Jay, watch your mouth. We can kick you out of the team as easy as a snap. Randy and I have been fighting them for so long, so if you don't want to help, you can get the hell out of our way. Sorry, but look who's. Yes, Jim is my twin, but I've experienced many things that bothered me too. Listen you, but that enough that I could know what to say. Hey, I was betrayed by him. That's awful. But it looks you won't change your mind. So we just have one plan left. Let's go out there and confront them. We got this. Yeet. So it's going to be a confrontation between the Bloodline and their opponents, which are Jey Uso, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. It was supposed to be a face-to-face and also Charles Robinson is in the ring to manage. Nothing more is going to happen, but he gets taken out as well as this is a pure chaos. Solo Sikoa is also in the ringside just taunting and screaming for himself that he is satisfied of this situation and from this brawl that those 6 men are doing in the ring. But Solo Sikoa is not going to be alone in the ringside anymore because Sami Zayn is here from Monday Night Raw. The only option left that Jey Uso was talking about is Sami Zayn. And Friday Night SmackDown ends with the brawl between two teams. And we move to Monday Night Raw as Sami Zayn has some important words about himself in the Intercontinental Championship and the War Games match before the main event, which is going to be Advantage match. Well, I don't want to waste your time and know there's a massive main event coming up and I'm gonna cut it right to the chase. Last week when I appeared on SmackDown and informed for the War Games match, I was told by the general manager, Adam Pearce, that I got myself into something. There's no guarantee that I can come back into Raw soon and safe. And I'm going to the rival brand with my title and it's not possible. I was left with two choices, relinquish my title or leave the War Games match. And with all the love and respect I have for you, for the Raw brand, for Adam Pearce, and this prestigious title, I'm going to fight alongside my brothers. But when I come back to Raw, which I don't know when, I will come back to win back my title that I've never lost. Sami Zayn puts the title in the ring and leaves the ring. This is just a sadness for Sami Zayn. But we move to something that is nothing sad about it. It's just aggression. It's just brawl. Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso, who enters from the crowd, are facing each other in the main event in the War Games Advantage match. Jey Uso, after hitting the spear, is climbing the ropes to hit the Uso splash on Jacob Fatu, but Jacob is just too good and manages to counter it directly into a Samoan drop and nails the moonsault on Jey Uso, and he gets the advantage for the War Games match. The Bloodline has the advantage for the War Games match. But the SmackDown before War Games, Solo Sikoa in the backstage receives a phone call. Hello?
The Rock's talking. Solo. After the simulation the Bloodline was affected with, you better get the job done at War Games. We lost the US title match, so did Jacob in the IC title match. I told you send Tonga and Lobo for the tag titles and you didn't. So things aren't good. Don't disappoint me.
But the final boss. It is now time for the War Games match. Anything goes. Jacob Fatu are starting things for the Bloodline, so is Kevin Owens for his team. These two men are starting the Brawl, and at Survivor Series, in the main event, the Brawl, the fight, is taking place inside the cage in 2 rings. Many extreme moments are taking place, many dives until Solo Sikoa traps Jey Uso between the ropes and spikes him wildly. Jey Uso has nowhere to go, he can't free himself. And on the other ring, Kevin Owens is putting Tama Tonga on the table, climbs the rope for a dive, but Jacob Fatu drops him down, but Sami Zayn knocks him out with the haluva kick. But Tama Tonga is still on the table, and it's Jimmy Uso entering the structure through the table. Solo Sikoa leaves Jey Uso and comes to the other ring to spike Jimmy Uso. But RKO out of nowhere knocks down Solo, and Randy's getting the pin for his team. And thanks to Jimmy Uso, Jay, Sammy, Kevin, and Randy got the win against the Bloodline. It was a massive match, and Jimmy Uso entered out of nowhere and outnumbered the Bloodline. I told you, Woos, time will fix everything. You proved yourself now. This is the time that you should go to them and try it one more time. I got you, Woos. Nothing left to say, Woos. I'm grateful to have you as my brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Guys, don't want to bother you again. Just wanted to make sure I didn't do anything wrong. Please accept my apology, and you wouldn't even see me again. Okay, we're all right. Thanks for your help at War Games, and you don't need to disappear. But I don't, okay, yo. I'm okay with you. Yeah, I'm the same. Randy said everything was needed to say. I'm okay too. The final boss is back. The Bloodline is not doing well. After he won the Undisputed Championship, the other members of the Bloodline have been just losing matches after matches, and they are now in some kind of a court that the judge is the final boss. He's not even letting them to be in the ring, and he says, so here we are, the Bloodline. I wanted to do this in front of the crowd because I want reasonable answers. What the hell is wrong with you? I told you to get the job done at War Games, but you didn't. Jacob, Tama, and Tonga, what about you? I brought you here, gave you a job, a spotlight in the main event, and now this is how you answer me? Losing to those clowns? Well, I'm not even here, but I have the most valuable prize of this business on my shoulder. And you, Solo, you lost the US title. Jacob, you lost the IC title, and you Tongans, you can't even imagine what kind of a disappointment you are. And hey Jacob, what the hell are you even doing here? Aren't you on Raw? So why are you wasting my time? Get your out of here and go back to Raw. What are you looking at? I said go back to Raw. Jacob Fatu is upset, is offensed, and he's just leaving. Hey, you three, I'm disappointed in you too, but we have some business to handle here on SmackDown. Get in the ring, we need to fix this. The Tongans and Solo Sikoa enter the ring, and The Rock says, so I'm gonna give you one more chance. You need to change something. Stay focused. The final boss, there's something I want to say about that title that you mentioned earlier. You have it without being you, but I should tell you, we all had your back in the match against Cody. Solo Sikoa dares to say this in front of The Rock's face. But here comes main event Jey Uso. Randy and KO are done with the Bloodline, but it looks Jay at least not. Hey, it was good to see you again. I just wanted to say congratulations for your first appearance here on SmackDown since SummerSlam. You definitely know we beat the hell out of your guys at War Games. So Randy and KO are done with you, and hey, Us, I'm telling you, you should appreciate that. Because now it's only between us, the family civil war once again, and I'm not the only member of this family who wants revenge. Jimmy Uso joins Jay in front of the stage. Finally, the Usos are back together. You say it like that, right, Us? Serious, we're here for revenge. You took everything from us. Jay said it's the family civil war. Of course it is, but there's still one man out of our family who has an unfinished business.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Cody Rhodes is back as well. It's one of the biggest main events of Friday Night SmackDown. You know what I came back for, so be on SmackDown next week because I don't want to play games anymore. This is huge. SmackDown ends with this face-off, and we reach next week on Friday Night SmackDown as Cody Rhodes wanted The Rock to appear on SmackDown, and he does. They are face-to-face in the ring. You now have the title you've always wanted to have. Is it good now to be shameful champion? You haven't defended your title even once for nearly 5 months. But that ends now, because you have to defend it against me. The final boss doesn't do anything by the orders of you, but there's no problem beating you once again. It looks you want to be smashed for the 3rd time by the final boss. I like that spirit though. You definitely don't deserve a shot at this title, but as The Rock is a very kind person, I'm gonna give it to you. But under the Bloodline rules. And you definitely didn't know what exactly happened in the very last Bloodline rules match. That wasn't funny, Cody. I'm not joking. I'm not playing games, and I will do everything in my power to make sure no one is going to enter the arena except for the ones who are allowed to be there. The one who are allowed. And of course your family is allowed too. That's none of your business, you. Yeah, I will bring my family because I'm the final boss. Now get the hell out of my ring. Okay, but remember at WrestleMania, I wasn't the one who brought the legends back. They were all your enemies. That was all your fault. See you at the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes looks confident and he leaves the ring. The match is official at Royal Rumble. SummerSlam's rematch. Cody Rhodes versus The Rock for the undisputed title. But as The Rock is the final boss, he's setting match after match for Cody Rhodes against the Bloodline members, starting with Tonga Loa, and Cody Rhodes manages to beat all of them. And also matches against the ones who are not in the Bloodline, like Santos Escobar, and Cody Rhodes manages to beat them all. And finally, after the last match, he receives a message. Cody, Cody, Cody. Congratulations, the American Nightmare. You're putting on a pretty good work, and because of this impressive performance, The Rock's gonna give you something. One more chance to make things easier for yourself. Trust me, the Bloodline rules match is not going to be like it was at WrestleMania. No one is there to help you, and you are all alone. Anyway, next week, you'll go to Raw and will be facing Jacob Fatu. If you win, the match at Royal Rumble won't be Bloodline rules anymore, and if you lose, you know what is about to happen. The Rock sends this message, and we move from Friday Night SmackDown to Monday Night Raw, where in the main event, Cody Rhodes is facing Jacob Fatu in a massive main event. But Jacob Fatu is just too good. He's also ambushing Cody Rhodes. He even hits that deadly moonsault, but Cody Rhodes manages to get the right shoulder up before the 3 count, and he stays alive. And he hits the Cody Cutter, and he's going for the crossroads. But a video is being played on the Titantron from the backstage as the Usos are brawling the Tonga brothers, and Cody Rhodes is going to the backstage to rescue them and help them get the upper hand. So the referee starts counting, and Jacob Fatu manages to get up on his feet. The referee counts the 10th number. And that's it. Jacob Fatu got the win against Cody Rhodes by countout. So the match at Royal Rumble is Bloodline rules. And in the Royal Rumble match, Randy Orton betrays Kevin Owens and eliminates a bunch of other guys to win the Royal Rumble match. But it is now time for the main event of the Royal Rumble Premium Live event. Cody Rhodes versus the final boss, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, The Rock, in a rematch from SummerSlam, as The Rock is ambushing Cody Rhodes. But Cody Rhodes is the American Nightmare. He has to finish his story one more time, this time against The Rock. They beat the hell out of each other, and they now reach here to trade blows. They're just punching each other in the head. It's chaos. It's high tensions. They both hate each other, and Cody Rhodes manages to hit a pedigree to The Rock, but he is also tired as well. The Tonga brothers are here. Remember, they are allowed to be in the arena, but so are Jimmy and Jay, as all these 4 men were competing back in the first match and the men's Royal Rumble match. The chaos in front of the stage is taking place, but Solo Sikoa is here, wants a spike, but Cody Rhodes turns it into a crossroads and takes Solo out. Jacob Fatu is here as well, but Cody Rhodes incredibly counters it to a crossroads and takes Jacob Fatu out as well. But The Rock hits the spine buster, and now he's going for the people's elbow. He nails the most electrifying move in WWE and is looking for rock bottom to finish things off. Spear! It's Roman Reigns! He is back! He spears The Rock! He was last seen with The Rock! He was on The Rock's side, so he was allowed to be in the arena as well, but it looks It's a whole different thing now. The crowd acknowledges his return, and also Cody Rhodes takes advantage as he hits a trifecta of the crossroads to the final boss, takes him down and pins him to win back the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. This is a massive win for Cody Rhodes as he's the two-time undisputed champion, but Roman Reigns is back as well. We move to the next Friday Night SmackDown, and the winner of the Royal Rumble match, Randy Orton, chooses Cody Rhodes as his opponent for WrestleMania. But the most important part of the SmackDown is Roman Reigns' return. He's here to address the future of himself and the Bloodline as the crowd acknowledges him before he can even open his mouth. You've already acknowledged me, so I don't need to remind you. Some of you may know that before WrestleMania 40 I said if I lose to Cody Rhodes I'm out and I'm gone, and I did what I said. But it looks my own family is trying to destroy my legacy, not only mine, but our family's legacy. The Bloodline is the name that I put on our family-made faction, and we were not a bunch of stupid wild guys with a bloodthirsty attitude attacking every single wrestler on the roster. We were dominant, but in a standard way. Yeah, I still don't like Cody, but Rocky, we need to fix this. For fixing this, you needed to lose that title. I thought you had my back, and maybe you still do. But you were destroying everything that we all made. And not just Rocky, but I trusted Solo as well. Speaking of him, I didn't tell you to handle business in the time I'm gone, and you will free my wise man, cause you are a threat for that man. I'm gonna miss him too, but at least for now he's not going to appear on SmackDown and he will have a break. But we will figure out everything, and I think I still have someone by my side, so as the tribal chief, I want The Rock here next week to fix this situation. Important words from Roman Reigns, and we reach next week on Friday Night SmackDown. So here we are. Are you satisfied? Can you tell me what you even came back for? To destroy the things that I built? I thought Solo was the one who's doing this thing, but it turned out to be you. But we still can fix this. Hope you heard my words last week that we can fix this. We used to be the most powerful duo in the history of WWE, and we can be that again. The only thing you have to do is to acknowledge me, which you did it once before. Okay, that seems reasonable. I acknowledge you as my tribal piece of The Rock nails Roman Reigns with the right hand and takes him down. This is brutal, but also there's another brawl taking place in the ringside between the Usos and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, but it looks like this wasn't supposed to happen here because The Rock is shocked and is staring at him in the ringside and screams that get the hell out of this place. And that gives the time for Roman Reigns to recover and nails the spear to The Rock. And we move to the Elimination Chamber, where there's a segment between Roman Reigns and The Rock that they will sign the contract of maybe the biggest match of their careers, the biggest match of WrestleMania in the recent history, and everything is ready for the contract signing. And after the long conversation that how they got here, Roman Reigns says, "Our family, everything is tearing apart. We always wanted this match and we got it, but this is not the way we wanted it. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. We shouldn't have been against each other." "I'm against you? You were the one who is against me. You self-centered tribal piece of trash are still looking for people to acknowledge you. You were the one who started this. You speared me out the Rumble and cost me my title. But you were the one who tore our family apart. You destroyed everything that I've built. You destroyed our family's legacy. You always wanted to be the tribal chief of this family without doing anything. With those high works up in there in the TKO, you may be the final boss, but you can never be a tribal chief. And the title you won, you stole Solo's Money in the Bank opportunity. Speaking of Solo, as we agreed to have our match at WrestleMania without any interferences, we need to talk about this to Solo. And as he's disappeared since my return, you should..." Solo Sikoa is here. He is back for the first time since the Royal Rumble. He enters the ring and he has to choose his side. He stands next to Roman Reigns. Is he with them or not? Solo Sikoa nails Roman Reigns with a shot in the thrust, and The Rock is taking advantage as well, beating the hell out of Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa did it one more time, and he's on The Rock's side. and Solo climbs the ropes to do a dive attack on Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns kicks The Rock just in time and Solo accidentally dives on The Rock. Roman Reigns nails a Superman punch to Solo and puts him through the contract signings table. But on Monday Night Raw, there's an Intercontinental Championship match. Chad Gable, who won the vacant Intercontinental title, is going to defend it against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn said that I will back for the title that I've never lost. He became the #1 contender and he is now looking to take back his title. There's a long history between these two men, battling for a title again, but before the bell could even ring, Jacob Fatu is dragging Sami Zayn to the ringside, smashing him in the ringside, and Chad Gable just leaves the ring and runs away because he doesn't want to participate in this match. And Jacob Fatu is just ambushing Sami Zayn, beating the hell out of him, and he even hits a splash until Adam Pearce appears on the stage. I've had enough of you. I don't even know how long has this been continuing, and Chad, you ain't gonna run away anymore, because you all three will face each other for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. And Jacob, Sami, you two better find a way to settle this damn thing in Las Vegas. So a match at WrestleMania is going to be official, but the SmackDown before WrestleMania, there's a massive face-to-face in the backstage. After all, we finally saw the Roman Reigns we wanted to see. When he returned with a different mentality, I said to myself that this man, although he lost his title, is still a powerful tribal chief. Good luck against The Rock, and thank you for having my back at Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns says nothing, but the look in his eyes says everything, that he has nothing but love and respect for what Cody said. And at WrestleMania, we have a tag team match, and maybe for the last time, the Usos are teaming up with each other to take on Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa from the new version of the Bloodline. A huge tag team match at WrestleMania ends with Jimmy and Jay getting the win with a beautiful scene of an Avalanche 1D getting the first win for their side, but also the other match on night 1, there's Jacob Fatu, there's Sami Zayn, and there's the Intercontinental Champion Chad Gable for the IC title. And in the match, Sami Zayn manages to hit the corner exploder to Jacob Fatu and also the Helova kick right after it. He hooks his leg for the cover, but Chad Gable deadlifts him up from the cover and nails 2 German suplexes, and the third one is with the Chaos Theory style, and Chad Gable pins Sami Zayn to retain his Intercontinental Championship. But on night 2, the main event, it is huge. It is about their legacy, Roman Reigns and The Rock, maybe the biggest match in the recent history of WWE. Rock bottoms by The Rock, spears by Roman Reigns, and they are just having a battle. But here comes Solo Sikoa. This wasn't supposed to happen. They agreed to have the match without any interferences, but guess who's here? It's Paul Heyman. Solo Sikoa was a physical threat for him, but Paul Heyman is sacrificing himself for The Rock and Roman Reigns to have this match in the way they wanted. While Solo is dealing with Paul Heyman, The Rock and Roman Reigns are both back on their feet in the ring, staring at each other. Who will take this shot? The Rock got it, rock bottom, but no, Roman Reigns is still in this, takes The Rock down, and goes for the Superman punch. He nails it, and it is time to finish this once for all. Spear by the Tribal Chief to the final boss. 1, 2, and 3, Roman Reigns defeats The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania. This is a massive match. But The Rock gets back on his feet, and it looks they want to end this with love and respect between the ones who are like brothers to each other. Roman offers a handshake, and The Rock accepts it, and he's about to leave the ring. But Solo Sikoa is back in the ring. He spikes The Rock. He was here for himself, and Roman Reigns is just shocked. Stared at there, and before he could realize what the hell is going on, Solo spikes him too. And this is a whole different story.